We are about to walk in. I'm so excited. This is the first show I've seen since March of 2020. It's Regina Comet. It's one of the off-Broadway shows. I've got my vaccine ready. I've got my mask on. We're gonna go in.
We're really trying to be safe. We want to stay open. And if that's what it takes to stay open, it's worth it. Well, every show now has a COVID officer, so everything is very safe. Now, first of all, you can't get into a show without your vaccination cards. You have to show whether you have, a card or Excelsior pass, whatever it is. You have to show proof of that, or a negative test, a very recent negative test. And then everybody has to be masked.
Okay, I am here at Regina Comet. We're gonna go inside, and this is going to be just the absolute best. I can feel the energy in this lobby. Let's go.
Broadway is such a huge, it's really the heartbeat of the city, not just that we're located in the middle of everything with Times Square and that we're a billion-dollar industry, but people look to us to get that beautiful catharsis. And I think one of the celebrations about coming back to theater is that people will need to laugh and scream with joy again.
First of all, we've got some great shows, but you guys don't really get to see the people behind the camera. I'm going to show you Mackenzie's here with me.
I'm never on camera.
My producer, and wait, hey guys, check out these seats. Check out these seats, guys. Like I'm literally, here's my shoes.
By one count, over 1 million have now been infected by coronavirus worldwide since the start of this.
No guarantees that when the shows return, most likely in September, that the crowds will be enough to sustain them.
It's been a rough 18 months for all of us. But when your love and livelihood depends on an in-person audience, it can be particularly rough. Nik Walker is a Broadway veteran, and he most recently played Aaron Burr in Hamilton. And right before the pandemic shut down Broadway, he was 3 weeks into portraying Otis Williams in Ain't Too Proud.
I was closing Hamilton and rehearsing Ain't Too Proud at the same time. It was such a amazing debut, and then ran for 3 weeks, and then this pandemic happened and shut us down.
Nik was able to weather the pandemic because of his savings, but many of his peers weren't so lucky.
I'm okay. That was something that I never took for granted because, again, that wasn't the case. You had people who were playing, friends of mine who were playing principals on Broadway who had just started, who all this, 3-4 months later were doing Uber Eats.
It took a toll on his mental health.
We were all just trying to keep our heads afloat because so much was being lost around us, and the thing that we knew made us who we are was not available. All this to say, my struggles, thankfully, were not so much financial, but what they were was mental. My ADHD flared up in a way, my anxiety flared up in a way that I had never seen. It was really bad. I've never really dealt with depression in my life until this pandemic. Just these things just hit you.
When Simba sings those lyrics, he's speaking to everybody out there who feels like we're never going to have daylight come, and we may not. Therefore, you make it. You make the daylight.
Hey guys, about to get ready for the show, doing my makeup. It's a day in the life.
Bonita Hamilton has been playing Shenzi in The Lion King for 17 years.
I'm completely humbled, grateful. I don't take for granted that this is the pinnacle of theater, and I come from very humble beginnings. Every day that I walk in, it's like, this is your life.
So we're going to places.
Yes, all the yes.
This is for the Lion King.
Oh, yes, I feel
the
it.
beautiful Minskoff Theater. Hey, Indian girl.
When Governor Cuomo announced he was shutting down the theaters, to say it was a shock for the performers would be an understatement.
Never in my wildest dreams had I imagined that March 11th, when the curtain came down, was the last time the curtain was coming down for 18 months.
Bonita found different ways to cope. She started a production company, got her real estate license, she baked a lot. But none of it was the same as being on stage.
I felt lost every day. Oh, I was doing voiceovers also. Built a studio in my house and I was doing ADR work and looping, but there was one audition and I had to sing something. And I sang something from my show. I sang He Lives in You. And I just began to weep, sobbing. I was like, what am I doing? I want to go back to work. I need to go back to work.
So many people experience loss during these pandemic months, and working on Broadway doesn't make you immune to the struggle.
A lot of people in my community had to give up their homes, give up their apartments. They lost health insurance. We need help too. And during that time, you know, a lot of us leaned on the Actors Fund.
Tom Viola runs the not-for-profit Broadway Cares, which provides money to the Actors Fund.
It was horrifying. I mean, everything flatlined. I mean, basically, in terms of the industry itself, of course, it threw everybody out of work. And you have to realize that what Broadway is, for many folks, is a gig economy. It's not like working for a corporation. It's not like working for the government. It's not like working for, you know, a small business where your job continues. So with the entire industry shut down, suddenly there was no opportunity for anyone to make a living.
Now, with the curtain rising again, there's finally some hope. Just look at this audience reaction in these viral videos. 10-minute standing ovations.
We're selling a lot of tickets. It's pretty awesome. We weren't quite sure. We're like, are people gonna wait? Are they gonna wait and see? But people are buying tickets. You know, we're filling our theaters, which is amazing, 100% capacity.
We will be opening the West End. We will be opening North American Tour. We will be opening Australia. Our initial ticket sales are very strong, and we have never been in this situation before. We've never been in a situation where the entire world shut down for over a year, but we're gonna come back strong, and we're gonna come back safe, and we're gonna make you feel all the things that you haven't felt in over a year.
For the performers, it feels like they finally made their way back home. How long they'll be able to stay there is uncertain, though. Aladdin had to temporarily suspend performances one day after reopening because of breakthrough COVID cases among the cast. Setbacks aside, it's clear these cast members wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
The curtain comes up, the first night you're reopened, and you hear that first thing that Rafiki sings. What does it sound like?
People have the perception that Broadway performers are these untouchable celebrities, but we're not, we're human. We ride the New York City public transportation into work, you know, we go to the grocery store.
As soon as the theater opened up, I literally just went to my dressing room and just sat there. There's no reason for me to be there. Like literally nothing was happening in the building. When you're, you know, the number one on a show, and you know, you have that star dressing room, and that feeling of like, wow, this space is mine. And it's this thing that I worked 10 years to get.
We're inside the beautiful Alversville Theater for reopening night of Moulin Rouge. I'm so excited to be here tonight. This has been, 18 months coming, and we're back, and everybody is masked up. Everybody looks beautiful. So it's can.
7th nomination, first win. We were all waiting for this night.
Thank you all so much for helping us bring this show back to our audiences and for bringing theater back after the pandemic, after a dark time, the rain some light. Thank you.